Online at BBC Sport Scotland.
Your smart speaker.
And BBC Sounds.
This is Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
Scottish football lives here.
Good afternoon from Pittodrie Stadium. Aberdeen against Heart of Midlothian here on BBC Radio Scotland Extra and on 810 medium wave. As the two sets of players make their way onto the pitch, Aberdeen to the left, Hearts to the right, as they exchange handshakes with the officials and their opposite numbers for this afternoon. A bitterly cold day in the northeast. The snow still on the Broad Hill over on the far side off to our left behind the south stand, where there's a huge visiting support for Hearts today. They're certainly getting a lot more tickets for their trip to Pittodrie than the likes of Aberdeen do in the away end at Tynecastle these days. It's an impressive away following for them. They haven't won here since May 2016. A goal from Abiola Dowda settled it for the visitors, who were under Robbie Neilson in his first spell in charge, but they are winless in their last 12 visits to Aberdeen, and the Dons have won all of the last 9 meetings between them here, albeit Aberdeen have a similar issue with Tynecastle as Hearts do here. Will this be the day an away side finally wins this fixture? We shall see. Aberdeen on a run of no wins in 10 since beating Dundee here on the 9th of November. They collected 31 points out of the first 33 from the first 11 league fixtures, and just 3 out of the last 30 available. The best and worst returns in a season in the club's history back to back in terms of points won across 11 and then 10 matches. The Dons are going to kick off with their 2 new signings. Involved-Tobers and Ockles both start for them. All in red with white flashes right to left, shooting towards the beach end in the first half. They prefer normally to do that in the second. Hearts have turned them, wearing their change colours, the all navy with maroon flashes. And it will be Aberdeen through Leighton Clarkson, who got their goal in the 1-1 draw in Edinburgh right at the start of December to kick off. Rolls it back for Tobers, first touch for the Latvian. And now Nielsen, who is back in, having played at centre half in the second half against Motherwell last Sunday. He's back in there today for the full match. And here is a first touch for Ockles. The Danish winger on loan from Preston rolls it to the left to the Hearts box for Nisbet. Finds Clarkson at the byline, gets the cross in, takes a touch and headed behind for the game's first corner by Jamie McCart. And it's an Aberdeen corner inside the opening 30 seconds.
It's really positive. A mistake there from Hearts, and Aberdeen getting the opportunity through Ockles to drive forward down the left hand side. It came to nothing at the end of the day, but the intent was there. It was a quick response to that error, and there was nothing other in his mind than to drive forward and cause the Hearts defence problems.
Corner then to be taken on this near side. Looks like Antti Palaversa, who scored the last gasp winner the last time Hearts were here, a 3-2 Aberdeen victory. It was into the goal that he's going to pop this ball into the penalty box of, right in front of the Pittodrie tunnel. Stephen McLean's the referee, and he's just held things up. There was a quick VAR check because it was bobbling around inside the penalty area for a point there. The ref is ready now, I think, just about. There's a big group of players just to the right of the penalty spot from both sides. Palaversa's corner to the near post is knocked behind for another corner by Musadrama.
Yeah, it's got to be better. The delivery's got to be better from the set piece. That was too low. You can see that they're trying to just clip it to Devlin at the near post, but it's way too low. It's got to be much more accurate.
And again from Palaversa, it's on the line. Gordon's kept it out somehow, and Devlin's efforts blocked, and it goes behind for another corner. That looked all day long as though Aberdeen were about to take the lead.
Aye, Liam, like that. A better quality across, and Devlin, I don't think it's Devlin that gets a touch on it, it's the defender, and Craig Gordon makes a really good save. We're getting a little preview of it here, and it looks as though Craig Gordon has just managed to scramble it off the line.
That would have been quite the start to his Aberdeen career for the Latvia captain. Great save by Gordon. And Aberdeen have a third corner. Just a couple of minutes in, nothing each as it is in the early exchanges at Ibrox. We'll keep you up to date with that one on this frequency. That match is available over on FM and on Sounds. Rangers St Johnstone, it's Aberdeen Hearts here And it's going to be another Palaversa corner. Stephen McLean's holding things up there. I'm not sure if there's a problem with the communication, but eventually he's going to get the game back underway here. Palaversa will take Aberdeen's third corner already, and it comes. Gordon punches it away. Hearts trying to clear through Devlin. It's flicked out to this near side and out for an Aberdeen throw-in, level with the Hearts 18-yard line. It's been a bright start by the home team.
No, it has, and you know, out of the three corners, the quality in the last two was of a very high standard. That one from Palaversa, right on top of Craig Gordon, had to use all his experience just to punch that one off, but very difficult to defend when the quality into the box from the set piece is at that level.
For Aberdeen, Toby Keskinen starting out on the right-hand side. Ockles, the new signing, is a left-sided winger, but you always feel Keskinen performs better when he's on the left side. He scored the opener against Hearts here very early on. The Dons thought they had the lead there. But for Craig Gordon, they may well have done. Here's Tobers, who has it midway inside his own half. Out to the right-hand side for Devlin. And then Tobers goes back to Ross Dew, and it continues in goal in the absence of Dimitar Mitov. And it is Nielsen with the low ball forward to Clarkson. It's a dreadful ball by Clarkson. He's switched it out the far side. He's fortunate that Blair Spittle's touch was poor, and it goes out to play for an Aberdeen throw-in over there. I'm not sure what was going through Clarkson's mind there. 4 minutes in, nothing each.
I don't know, but you know, he needs to get that out of his head, really. You know, it was a poor crossfield pass. It was square. He didn't look up. He just played it first time as well.
Well, held up by Nisbet. Here's Keskinen as Aberdeen break forward. They've got it up to the edge of the Hearts box. Ockles now on his right side. His ball across is cut out by Musa Drama. Palaversa knocks it back into the box, left-hand side, and then Clarkson has a wild swipe at fresh air. And that allows Oyegoke to come in and clear for Hearts and out for a throw-in on this near side.
Yeah, it's you know, Leighton Clarkson not really showing the quality that he's got with the square pass, and then the swipe at it with the left foot. He's got to calm himself down a little bit. He is a quality player, we know that.
Here comes Keskinen down the right-hand side of the Hearts box, looks to pull it back across. It's blocked. Was there a hand involved there? There's a huge appeal from the Aberdeen supporters. The referee's given a corner.
It looked as though it came off a hand. I think it's McCart that goes to ground. Now I don't know if it's come off his leg and then bounced onto his hand.
Well, he's getting a chance to see a replay.
Preview of it.
It's come off his
foot, so, and it's hit his hand. He's went in with a sliding tackle, the left foot. It's come off his foot and it's bounced up behind him, and his trailing hand, and it was right on the hand as well. It's as plain as you could see, but with it coming off the foot, no penalty.
It's supporting arm as well, so no question of a penalty there. It isn't, however, Aberdeen's fourth corner in the 6th minute of the game. It's taken low by Shinnie into the box. He's going to get it back immediately here from Ockles. Now to Keskinen at the edge of the box. Now he's facing his own goal, looking for an option ahead of him. Has to turn back towards his own half and rolls it to Jimmy McGarry, the New Zealander at left back. Now it's Clarkson. Long ball into the box. Gordon commits himself and comes and claims. And it's Aberdeen 0, Hearts 0. Hearts trying to just weather this opening from Aberdeen, which has been extremely positive. They put Craig Gordon's goal under pressure. You'll hope that Aberdeen unable to keep up to that kind of standard for the duration of the game, but they're playing well. Here as Palaversa goes down as he tried to win the ball back. Hearts clear. It's Beningame in the middle of the park. Shinnie manages to win it back, and now McGarry to Nielsen on the near side. Nielsen is barged unceremoniously to the deck by 17-year-old Wilson there. He's quite happy, despite his youthful age, to mix it with a man at the other end of his career in Sivert Nielsen. Aberdeen have the free kick, and it's Nielsen eventually picks it up and squares it to Tobers midway inside his own half. Nielsen to Clarkson on this near side, knocks it back to Tobers, and then Nielsen again. Hearts trying to push up here with Wilson. This is George Grant, who was sent off here in the meeting in October, and it proved pivotal. Hearts played well in the game. Here come Aberdeen though. Clarkson forward to Keskinen, unable to shake off the ever impressive James Penrice, who picks up on the left hand side out towards the south stand. It's a long ball forward, but there's nobody in Hearts colours ahead of him. Comes all the way through to Duan, who's bowled it out quickly. Clearly see Aberdeen have started this match with intent. Every dead ball, every time it goes back to the keeper, they're getting things taken really quickly. And here comes McGarry down the left, driving forward. Ockles on the left-hand side. McGarry goes himself and it's well wide. And it stays Aberdeen 0, Hearts 0. But the message from the Aberdeen managers clearly get into this game quickly, because too often this season the Dons have started really slowly.
Yeah, there's been a lot of games where the first half has been disappointing. Certainly, you know, after just almost 8 minutes gone here, there's no sign of that. You know, the intensity is very high. The pressure put in the ball is extremely good. You know, and they're winning it back, and Hearts are really struggling. They're really struggling to keep possession. They've made a few errors as well. Hearts giving possession away rather needlessly, and Aberdeen taking advantage of it.
Yeah, but here come Hearts down the right-hand side of the Aberdeen box. Oyegoki with the cross in. Devlin clears it, but it's straight back to Oyegoki on this near side. Faced by Ockles at the right angle of the Aberdeen box. Rolls it back to Beningame, who finds Devlin. And then Beningame goes back to McCart, who finds Halkett. So, first real period in the game that Hearts have been able to string some passes together, and Beningame has it here, back to Halkett, and he squares it to Jamie McCart. Cup double winner with St Johnstone back in 2021 and back in Scottish football with Heart of Midlothian, and it is Devlin who knocks it forward to Spittle. Rolls it with the right foot low out to Penrice on that far side. Hearts have just won back-to-back league matches for the first time this season, and for the first time since beating St Mirren and Livingston in April. 16 points down on where they were after 22 games last season though. But there are signs of life, and given how bunched up it is really between 3rd and 11th, even the side at this stage, beyond the midway point of the season, even the side who sit 11th right now may well have designs on that position in the league, which is pretty remarkable in itself.
Yeah, it's all very tight, isn't it? You know, very congested. You know, Ross County and some of the results that they've had have been superb for Don Cowie, and of course Hearts and Neil Critchley looking to pick up any points that they possibly can and showing some good form.
Devlin rolling it to his left for Spittle, midway inside Aberdeen territory, pokes it out to Penrice on the touchline. Comes back to Spittle. There's the quality there as he puts the ball in. That wasn't his best display of it though, and it's a pure touch by Oyegoki, and it goes out for a throw into Aberdeen. See him to lean down there. He's telling Jimmy McGarry to hurry up and get over and take the throw in.
Well, I think that's what you need. You know, you need that intensity. You need that, and he's spoken about it. He's spoken about it in his interviews. You know, the fact that they've got to be more concentrated in terms of losing goals, but they've got to, you know, up the tempo, up the press, win the ball back early, get forward with a certain speed as well, and then once you get into that final third, be more composed to take the opportunities they're creating. So it's been a good start. It's been a good start for Aberdeen. 10 minutes gone, and really positive.
Nisbet gets it out to Devlin on the right hand side, level with the edge of the D, the Hearts box. In comes the cross, headed away by Halkett. And McGarry will pick it up on this near side. It's out to the touchline, little ball forward, a misunderstanding with Ockles, and comes straight through to Halkett. Now it's Berry Beningame. He's on the spin, and he knocks it infield to Devlin. Hearts still without their captain, Shankland of course, albeit he's not been the same presence as he was last term. That's well documented. Back to Gordon. It's not a great ball forwards, plenty of height on it, not too much distance as Shinnie knocks it towards the Hearts box. Straight to McCart though, and he's able to thump it clear, and it comes all the way through to Ross Doohan.
It's a very quick press, isn't it, from Aberdeen? You know, working really hard to make sure that Hearts don't get any time in the ball, and you know, even when they've got time, they've given it away needlessly. I feel with the visitors, they've got to be more precise and concentrated when they do win possession, because they're not dealing with the press too efficiently.
Yeah, and Tolbers is giving it straight to Spittle, who works the 1-2 with Grant, gets the cross in. Diving header away from Nielsen was good, because Musa Drama was in behind him inside the box. Aberdeen have it with Clarkson. Back to McGarry. We played 12 goalless minutes here at Pittodrie. Clarkson takes it up to halfway, knocking it infield to Palaversa, who signed that 2-year extension yesterday. It's Tolbers, and he side foots it to his right for Nicky Devlin, who we heard the powers that be at Tynecastle publicly regret the fact they didn't sign Nicky Devlin when he was available after his spell at Livingston. And it's Tolbers who gets it from Nielsen, and then forward to Shinnie. Back to Tolbers, who goes back to his goalkeeper. I mentioned to you, Willie, before we came on air, there's a lot of leaders in that Aberdeen side. Tobers was a captain of his country. Nielsen was captain at his previous club, Brand Bergen. We know Shinnie is the captain here. Nicky Devlin, as I mentioned, when he was at Livingston, he was the skipper there too.
Yeah, it's important that you have leaders, and the more the better, to be perfectly honest with you. You know, Nielsen, you could see right from you know, his first game for Aberdeen that he liked to organise, he loved to talk. Even in the little warm-ups, you know, he's always talking, he's always encouraging. And when you see him, you know, actually in the field of play as well, you know, he takes it on there and he's always barking and organising. We know Graham Shinnie leads by example too. And you've got the new player Tobers as well, along with Devlin, so it's a great mix.
Good play by Hearts, this down the left, it's with Penrice. Penrice steps to the left angle of the box, flicks it with the outside of the boot and finds Grant, level with the penalty spot. Left hand side of the area, touches it back to Spittle, to Grant, to Spittle, left foot cross is cut out by Shinnie. Hearts have settled here, Spittle's ball back goes straight to Clarkson, but he's given it straight to Devlin. Now it's back with McCart. Having got through those tough opening 10 minutes for Hearts, they're trying to build their way into the game, but that's a poor ball by Halkett. He couldn't find Yagoke, and it goes out for a throw-in to Aberdeen, just down in front of us here. We're at the back of the main stand, the opposite side of the stadium where the TV cameras are housed. And it's back with Doohan, who finds Shinnie. He's inside his own box and he touches it back to Nielsen, who was under pressure from Beningame. Little ding forward there by Nielsen. Clarkson leaves it for Ockles, gets it back to Clarkson. It's towed out by Devlin for an Aberdeen throw-in. Nothing each here.
Well, both teams are trying to build it up from the back. I'm not too sure about Aberdeen's tactics there. It was very, very tight. They're in their own box as well. Listen, they got away with it. Maybe in another day they don't. And Hearts are doing the same. You know, they're quite happy to take it at the back. They're quite happy to take a chance or two. I feel that Hearts are making more unforced errors than Aberdeen. Aberdeen controlling the ball far better.
There's Nielsen clipping it forward, looking for Clarkson. Halkett reads it well and gets between Clarkson and the ball. Halkett steps into the centre circle. It's great for Craig Halkett. He's getting a run of games just now. So many injury problems. This is his 13th appearance of the season. As he exchanges passes with Devlin, who squares it to McCart. And then back to Craig Halkett. Rangers lead against St Johnstone. Hamza Igaman has scored as Aberdeen win it back with McGarry. Devlin's gone down and the ref's blown the whistle. Free kick Hearts. I'm not sure what went on there. Cammy Devlin went down for some reason and Aberdeen were in behind there. The referee's whistle blows.
Yeah, there was some kind of contact. Didn't see it myself. I think it was Ockles that perhaps ran into him. I don't think there was any, you know, any intent. The referee certainly didn't think there was any intent. Just felt that, you know, with Devlin going down and Aberdeen getting advantage from it, the contact was then decided that it was a free kick, and the referee's given the free kick with no further action.
Now with McCart, left to the centre circle, infield for Beningame. He squares it to Halkett, and it's now back with Benny Beningame. So Rangers 1, St Johnstone 0 at Ibrox. 2 Premiership matches. Coverage of that one continues on BBC Radio Scotland FM and on Sounds. Long ball forward, it's Wilson who wins the header against Tobers, but he was fouling him. And Aberdeen have a free kick which they're trying to take quickly, and the groans from the Dons fans. They're not massive fans of Stephen McLean around these parts. He's made a couple of decisions that haven't gone down particularly well. I think it goes all the way back to that game against Motherwell on the final day of the season in 2013. I think it was 2013-14 when Motherwell won here late on to finish second in the league, and ever since
long
then
memories.
they do. And here comes Aberdeen with Keskinen driving down the right hand side and behind the defender, trying to get through into the box. He goes down just inside the area. Stephen McLean's not interested. The Dons play on. McGarry finds Palaversa, bends a lovely ball to Clarkson, first time across and cleared by McCart on the 6-yard line. Palaversa gets onto the scraps at the edge of the box, but his header forward was all the way through to Gordon. It's Aberdeen 0, Hearts 0, and it's by all accounts it was a very quick VAR check and no penalty. No,
but it was really good, you know, forward play from Keskinen. I think giving as much as he's getting there, as he's trying to get in front of the Hearts player, and he goes down. It's inside the box, but I agree with the referee. I don't think it was a penalty.
It's 0-0 after almost 18 minutes. Tobers with a header away. Bouncing ball's awkward for Devlin on the far side. Spittle with a challenge. Spittle wins it back, but he's put it out for an Aberdeen throw-in. Level with the edge of the centre circle on the south stand side. Devlin will take the throw. Pulls it back the way to Tobers. Initial thoughts of Tobers, Willie?
Yeah, he looks a confident player. Hasn't really been tested. His positional sense has been pretty good. Looks as though he's a bit of a thinker. He's not getting dragged into wide areas or into the midfield. He's staying pretty close to Nielsen, and making it very difficult for Hearts and James Wilson in particular to find any kind of a room or space.
Good driving run by Penrice, but he loses out to Devlin, but then Keskinen's touch takes it out for a Hearts throw-in. Midway inside the Aberdeen half, over on the far side. The Hearts left as they go left to right in this opening 45 minutes. Throw-in taken by Penrice, infield to Spittle, loses out to Shinnie. Shinnie knocks it forward down the right for Clarkson across the halfway line. Another dreadful ball, gives it straight to Devlin. And Hearts have it back on the left with Penrice, down the line for Spittle. Infield to Cammy Devlin. He's such an important player for the visitors as Devlin. Tenacity in the midfield as Oyegoke gets it from Halkett on this near side. Rolls it back to Halkett, infield to Benny Beningame. He's up towards the edge of the Aberdeen box, finds Drama, good challenge by Nielsen though. Clarkson now sprinting away. And he's looking for an option, there doesn't seem to be anyone though, and eventually as he knocks it forward it's cut out by Halkett. Ockles picks it up for Aberdeen, back to McGarry. And infield to Siver Nielsen, who finds Palaversa. Right to McGarry, forward to Clarkson. Clarkson goes across the halfway line. Misunderstanding with Ockles, and it turns out to be another poor ball from Leighton Clarkson. It's not been a great start to the game for him personally. 20 in, Aberdeen 0, Hearts 0.
Yeah, it's beginning. Aberdeen are beginning to make the unforced errors now as well, and Leighton Clarkson in particular. He has got real quality, and when you see a player with the quality that he has, making as many mistakes as he's had, only 20 minutes gone in this game, then you know that things aren't going well for him. I'm sure Jimmy Tulane will be disappointed because he's getting plenty of space and room. The Hearts aren't really picking him up. It's not as if he's been under too much pressure. The Hearts press hasn't been as intense as the Aberdeen press, and Clarkson's had time and room and space, and he just hasn't used the ball well enough.
0-0 here, but Rangers have gone 2-0 up on St Johnstone. Václav Černý has added to that Igaman goal, so Rangers 2, St Johnstone 0. Here come Hearts down the right with Oyegoke, challenged by Ockles, comes off Palaversa, and out for a Hearts throw-in on this near side. They've been better, Hearts, in the second 10 minutes of the game, if you like. The first 10 it was all about Aberdeen, but just on the 21-minute mark now, and Hearts have been better. They've settled into the match, not really got James Wilson involved as yet. Still time to do that. They trailed Aberdeen 1-0 in that 3-2 defeat, turned it round to lead 2-1 as Aberdeen give it away in a bad area. Devlin with the cushion header, wide left for Penrice, level with the edge of the D of the Dons box. His cross is cut down by Shinnie, and out for a Hearts throw-in over on that far side.
Nicky Devlin this time giving the ball away needlessly. He's got to show more composure. I think if you're looking at the negative side of the game, both sets of players have not shown enough composure, and when they've had the ball, needlessly giving it away to the opposition on numerous occasions. So I'm sure that both managers will be hoping that will cease as the game goes on.
Palaversa's done it as well, but at the edge of the box he gets away with it. Aberdeen clear. Devlin, Keskinen flicks it infield to Nisbet, who's I don't even think he's had a touch of the ball yet, Kevin Nisbet, as it goes out to he had one little layoff I think early on. That's been about it for him. Here's Penrice for Hearts, he's got his cross in the Aberdeen box. Strama with their headers blocked, an Aberdeen man went down, but there was no free kick. Palaversa hasn't dealt with it, and McGarry slides into the challenge, and Devlin cleared, and eventually Stephen McLean blows. Well, it looked like a foul initially, but the whistle didn't go, yet some of the Aberdeen players just stopped.
Yeah, I know it did look like a free kick, but you're right, the referee doesn't give it. The cross from the left-hand side. And I think it's McGarry that goes down, is it? And then Hearts have two great opportunities. I think it's Wilson gets a couple of chances and miscues in both occasions. Grant in the first occasion doesn't hit it properly, it falls to Wilson. Wilson then has a swipe at it, doesn't connect with it particularly well, gets a second attempt at it, and the same again.
Palaversa's long ball looking for Keskinen, he's found him as well, left hand side of the box. Penrice trying to get back, and Keskinen, well, he's ended up falling on his backside, having tried to shoot with the left. I think it's come bouncing off his right, and he got himself caught in a Fankel. Was a real opportunity for Topi Keskinen. It stays nothing each on 23.
It's a big opportunity. It's a good run from the winger right to left, and you know, as it falls from on his left foot, he's got to show much more composure. You know, he's way off balance there. He's falling down as he's swiping at it with the left foot. Big opportunity, well worked from Aberdeen. Very quick, you know, move from them. Hearts really split wide open through the middle as well. Toby Keskinen, big chance, didn't take it.
Well, that'll be a concern for Neil Critchley. It was a one long ball from Palaversa. It was a good ball, it was on point, but he'll be concerned that one ball took out his entire defence. It was good backtracking by Penrice, might well have done just enough to put off Keskinen as Nielsen comes down the left and finds McGarry. Level the edge of the D of the Hearts box. Low ball comes all the way through to the 18-yard line, but Penrice sweeps clear. It's going to go out for an Aberdeen throw-in on the near side as Nielsen holds off Wilson. May well be a real answer for Aberdeen, Sivert Nielsen at the heart of their defence. Midfielder, of course. He's in there because of Aberdeen's paucity of options in that area of the park, with Nielsen at centre-back preferred to Angus MacDonald, who's on the bench though, in fairness. Having seen Motherwell's second goal in particular last week, and see why Angus MacDonald didn't re-emerge for the second half and hasn't started this one. Rubizic suspended, Malloy out injured long term. Long ball by Devlin's poor, comes all the way through to Craig Gordon. It was Devlin who scored Aberdeen's equaliser in the 3-2 win, got it back to 2-2. It came so quickly after Spittle's goal as Rangers go 3-0 up on St Johnstone. Mohamed Diamonde has got it against an already doomed looking St Johnstone, who've been in the top flight since 2009. Well, that is under serious duress now, albeit I think Simo Balakari would have expected anything from Ibrox today. Here's Keskinen for Aberdeen, seeing a lot of the ball. Topi Keskinen, he tries to spin his man, he goes down, no free kick. Waved to his feet by Stephen McLean, and it comes back to Gordon.
No, it's no free kick. He's off balance. He has seen a lot of the ball. Keskinen not done too much with it. He's been pretty direct, but there's been no end product really. But that goes to say for both sets of players, both teams. You know, there's been no real end product.
No.
I think Hearts are struggling. Young Wilson up top, he looks very lightweight. The two centre backs, you know, are dealing with him really effectively. Hasn't been a target, hasn't been an outlet. And then when he got the opportunity, you know, he had two bites at the cherry as well when that ball fell for him. He's got to show more composure to at least you know, get the strike and target. He didn't show that composure. So I think it's a lot of intent out there from both sets of players, but quality for me is lacking.
Aberdeen spent a lot of money in Topi Keskinen. I don't think he's justified that price tag quite yet. There's clearly a player there, he's still a youngster. As Hearts come forward, free kick into the Aberdeen box, is headed well behind by McCart, and that will be a goal kick. Yeah, it's been a dream year for James Wilson. He made his Hearts senior debut in the Scottish Cup tie against Spartans. The anniversary of that's coming up in the next week. Of course, Scottish Cup action, fourth round action, one of the best weekends of the season, coming up next week. Starting on Fridays, Hearts go to Brechin City. Down the road from here, Aberdeen take on Elgin at Borough Briggs, and that was a game when the draw was made the Aberdeen supporters would have been delighted with. Now it's sparking all kinds of memories of Scottish Cup ghosts of the past for them, as Devlin launches it forward. The header from McCart into the midfield. Devlin helps it on its way. Shinnie's header goes straight back to Hearts' possession. Penrice with a header, Wilson with a header. He's found Drama, trying to step away from Palaversa. Hearts have given it away, and it's McGarry. He can nick it forward to Ockles here, but it's too close to Halkett. He was in the right place, midway inside his own half to come across and win it back. Now Beningame, he's got Oyegoke away down this right-hand side. Almost in 28 minutes, 0-0. Drama on this near side. Gets the cross ball in. Grant tried to overhead it for a goal there. It's just outside the 6-yard box. He gets the slightest of touches, but it goes out for a throw into Aberdeen over on the far side. And Jimmy Talline's defensive worries about to increase here, because the new boy, Christer Tobers, has gone down. He looks in some discomfort, Willie.
He's not looking great, is he? You know, grimace on his face as he went down. I can only imagine it was some kind of a slip, and maybe he's twisted something. I don't think there was any contact. Just trying to see a replay here of it. Still a bit of a mystery to me. I still can't see what actually happened to him. Anyway, he's up, and it looks as though he's okay.
Throw into Aberdeen, deep inside their own half. Devlin up the line. Nisbet with the flick header there, and then Devlin slides in and nicks it all the way back to Halkett. We'll go all the way back to Craig Gordon, who enjoyed his clean sheets in his last couple of matches. So the offside flag goes up against Hearts and Gordon's long ball. Pretty even contest now, I would say. Aberdeen started very well, but that is it's pretty much completely evaporated, the pace with which they started the game, and Hearts very much in this contest.
It's balanced itself out, hasn't it? You know, but what I would say is that I don't think it's been a great contest, Liam. You know, I think the quality has been lacking. Too many unforced errors, not enough opportunities created. Yeah, it's been fast, it's been furious. But there comes a time and a point in the game where you've actually got to slow it down a little bit and think a little bit more about what you're doing. It's just too frantic out there, and I think that is why it's 0-0.
If Aberdeen were to lose this, they would be on their longest losing run since Mark McGee was the manager, and that run which included that infamous humbling at Celtic Park back in 2010. There's going to be a foul against Keskinen here over on the left of the centre circle side, as he just seemed to catch Penrice, who's back on his feet. The Hearts have it here with Halkett as he rolls it back to McCart. Half an hour in, nothing each. Rangers 3 up on St Johnstone and Ibrox. And the boos are for James Penrice on the far side for making the most of that, by all accounts.
He did make the most of it. There was a little bit of contact, but not enough for him to go down in the manner that he went down. So I think he deserves the booing that the Aberdeen fans gave him. He's got to expect that as well.
Halkett for Hearts, rolls it forward onto halfway for Beningame. Back to McCart, left of the centre circle. He's got it out to Penrice on that left-hand side. Next in infield to Spittle. Back to Penrice, now he's level with the penalty spot. Gets the nutmeg on Devlin. Shinnie covering across. Shinnie does really well, gets himself between Penrice and the ball, gets onto it and sweeps it clear as Nisbet goes down on the far side. No free kick. Hearts play on. Spittle, infield to Grant. And then to Devlin. And then out to Oyegoke. So those long memories again, Willie. It's that referee. He doesn't get there's not much patience for Stephen McLean in the northeast.
No, there isn't. But you know, when we're talking about the football, Graham Shinnie, they're doing just a fabulous job covering for Nicky Devlin. Penrice a little nutmeg, and Shinnie there to cover for him.
Oyegoke gets the cross in towards Grant. It's the left angle of the 6-yard box. Devlin does enough to get it clear as he battles with George Grant, gets it away with the left foot, high ball forward. Nisbet trying to get onto it. McCart's all over him, and this time the free kick does go Aberdeen's way. Nisbet ends up on the deck. Aberdeen 0, Hearts 0, almost on 32.
I think the referee just felt he had to give that one. There's been a number of occasions where he could have given free kicks, and I think Nisbet takes a little hand to the face. It's a bit of a sandwich as well. It's a right, it's a right decision from the referee. He's getting a hard time from the Aberdeen fans who've turned up once again in their numbers. Liam, don't know how many's in. There's a few spare seats in the Richard Donald.
I can't see the top tier of the Richard Donald to my left from where we are. Hearts. I'm not sure how full that is,
Yeah.
but the rest of the stadium looks
Pretty
really
good,
busy.
doesn't it? Yeah, good atmosphere.
There's Nielsen forward to Ockles, back to Palaversa on the halfway line. Another poor ball, Beningbe, and then Oyegoke getting the road as it slipped forward by Aberdeen to Keskinen. He's in behind, chance here, oh, it's wide! Huge chance for Topi Keskinen again, and he has just dragged that one past the right hand post, and it will be a Hearts goal kick. He's in behind the Hearts rear guard again, but he's looking up to the sky there, the dark grey skies here in Aberdeen, and he knows how big an opportunity that was to break the deadlock. It stays nothing each.
I don't know if they come much better, really, and Kevin Nisbet's little reverse pass was just sublime for Keskinen. He's in behind, he's totally clear, he's just got Craig Gordon to beat there. For me, he's got to make the goalkeeper work. He can't drag it across the face. He's been maybe far too precise, perhaps a little bit more pace in the ball, a bit of height as well. But it's a big chance. That should have been the first goal in my book.
It's best chance of the game, save for that Tobers opportunity in the opening couple of minutes. It's Palaversa looking for Keskinen in behind again on that right hand side. This time Penrice does well. Hearts have it back, McCart clears, Palaversa with a header forward towards the Hearts box. It is Nisbet, Keskinen can't control, and it's now at the feet of Grant. George Grant on the far side, and then it's a long ball forward there by Penrice, or Spittle. I think it was Spittle. Yeah, it was. Spittle has rolled it back to Penrice. Clarkson slides in on Penrice, and the referee gives the free kick to Hearts. Penrice on the deck after the challenge by Leighton Clarkson, which was in the robust category.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of power behind it. It looked from where I'm sitting to be, I'm watching a replay. Yeah, I mean, it is a free kick. He's not got the ball, he's gone in Penrice, and the 2 feet have went in. I think he's been booked there, Liam, has he? Leighton Clarkson, certainly, watching the replay, and the referee had a really good view of it, that it deserved that yellow card, and it was a rash challenge from the midfielder, who's, I think, perhaps a little bit frustrated, hasn't been at the top of his form, he's given the ball away on too many occasions, and he gets himself a yellow card for a robust challenge.
He's managed a couple of goals against Hearts in his time in Aberdeen. The Dons fans not happy, but having looked at the replay there, Willie reckons that's the right call by Stephen McLean, and it will be a Hearts free kick to be taken by their goalkeeper and captain over on the far side. And I mean, it's being placed on the exact correct blade of grass before it's taken over on the far side touchline, before we can continue.
At least he didn't take it off the pitch.
Yeah. Long ball forward with the left foot. Comes all the way through to Doohan, the Aberdeen keeper. And Craig Gordon made that save from Tobers early on. He's not really too much to do save-wise since then. Ross Doohan's had even less to do so far. 10 minutes left in this first half. 0-0. It is Nielsen coming forward down the left for Aberdeen, back by McGarry to Palaversa. His ball forward, another one. He's not had a great game with regards to his passing today, Antti Palaversa. He's given it away 3 or 4 times. Clarkson has 2. As Penrice drives forward down the left-hand side, Keskinen trying to stick with him. Keskinen goes down and brings him down with his head. And he's given a goal kick. I have to say, that looked a Hearts free kick all day long. Keskinen went to ground and ends up tripping Penrice with his head, essentially, and Stephen McLean gives a goal kick.
Yeah, Penrice has got the better of him. Yeah, it's a free kick.
Here comes Keskinen down the other side of the box. There's a dreadful cross, really poor, and it goes behind the other side of the goal frame for a goal kick to Hearts. That's what I was saying about Keskinen, Willie. He's still really kind of rough around the edges, isn't he? Really raw.
I think he tries to do things too fast. I mean, I know it's and we're just watching it again. I mean, that's a foul all day long. He's actually dived right in, kind of with the head to bring Penrice down. It's a very unusual challenge.
It's an incredible decision.
And the referee getting it totally wrong. I think that's been pointed out to him as well.
Yeah, Blair Spittle's having a go at the ref. She's not really allowed to do that unless you're the captain, and even then it's viewed dimly. Craig Gordon will launch it forward with the left foot up to the halfway line. Misjudged by both Drama and Palaversa. It's off the Aberdeen midfielder and out for a throw-in to Hearts on this near side. Joya Goki will take.
Just on Keskinen,
Yeah.
Liam, I just feel that he wants to do everything really, really quickly, instead of maybe getting a little bit of composure and getting the ball under control before he then ups the pace. I think it's a fault in him. I think he needs to calm down a little bit. Yeah, get forward, do it quickly and attack the opponent, but do it when you've got things under control.
Hearts win it back with Beningame on this near side. He's managed to slip it forward to Grant. First time looking for drama. McGarry tries to get back and does well to knock it out for a throw-in. And the Hearts forward just behind them. Throw-in level with the Aberdeen 6-yard line on this near side for Daniel Yegoke. He's looking for an option in Hearts colours. There's not many of them. Grant's come short. Sent off for 2 yellows last time he was here, Grant. Yegoke taking his time over the throw, and eventually he bowls it into the box. Drama goes down. Challenge with McGarry, and it goes behind for the goal kick.
Yeah, wasted opportunity again. You know, the quality lacking. You know, it's a throw-in, it's a set piece, so Yegoke's got to, do much better. Moosa's got to do much better in holding it up as well, and from a really good position, Hearts give the ball away needlessly again.
Nielsen's ball forward, flipped on by Ockles, comes off Halkett, back to Hearts now. Yegoke, wonderful play down the right hand side, a brilliant low ball in as well. Wilson couldn't get onto it, and it's dealt with by Aberdeen and out for a throw-in on this near side. Good spell for the visitors this, 6 minutes before the break.
That's better from the full-back.
Yeah, Yegoke's got it on this near side again. His initial cross is cut out, breaks back to him though. And now it's Grant level with the edge of the D of the Aberdeen box, finds Beningame, forward to Grant, back to Beningame, out to Yegoke on this near side. Challenge from Palaversa, and it's out for a Hearts throw-in, level with the Aberdeen 18-yard line. Just knocking on the final 5 minutes of the first half, and it is 0-0. Remember, at Ibrox, Rangers leading St Johnstone, bottom of the league of course, by 3 goals to 0. Igaman, Cherney, Diamonde with the goals. Coverage of that continues on BBC Radio Scotland FM and on sounds here on Extra and 810 medium wave, and on digital is Aberdeen 0, Hearts 0. It's a keenly contested match, as Willie keeps saying. It has lacked quality, and both sides are guilty of that. Hearts have it left of the centre circle with Penrice. It's across the halfway line. He's got Spittle ahead of him. Leaves it for Spittle. Penrice continues his run. Breaks off Keskinen. Devlin has it. Back towards Keskinen, who'll knock it off Penrice and out for an Aberdeen throw-in. Level with their own penalty spot over on the south stand side.
So I think, players are finding it difficult to get space and room. The press from the opposition is really intense. And they've been forced at times into making mistakes, forced at times to give possession away too early. And even when they've got time, the odd occasions that they do get time, the quality hasn't been there. They've given it away needlessly, and that's both sets of players out there. That's why we're kind of looking at a game that is very tight, could go either way. It's pretty even at this moment in time. Difficult to kind of suggest who's going to win the game, if there is going to be a winner, simply because I don't think that quality's been good enough.
There's an argument to say Hearts are on top right now at this stage of the match.
I think they're seeing more of the ball, yeah. I don't know if they're more of a threat because they're not doing much with the ball in the final third, but yeah, definitely in possession, they're on top.
Yegoke has it in this near side, knocks it in field. Drama couldn't control it. It's now with Palaversa. Forward to Nisbet. It's not a great touch, allows Grant to win it back for Hearts. A lot of stray passes out there. As McCart picks up on the left-hand side and knocks it down the line for Penrice. It's always available. He's been a good signing for Hearts. Probably their best signing from the summer. Spittle's been important for them as well. So Yegoke collects on this near side. He's got space to run into here. Palaversa closing it down. So Yegoke, he's level with the edge of the Aberdeen box. Comes off Palaversa, and Hearts have a throw-in on this near side. Final few minutes of the first half. The regulation time, certainly. Yegoke pulls it infield to Drama. Back to Yegoke. He's trying to spin away from Ockles. And he runs the ball out of play. And Aberdeen have a throw-in down on this near side. There's going to be, as it stands, certainly 1 minute of stoppage time to come.
Yeah, I think at least on that occasion Hearts managed to keep possession from the throw, and they've simply given it away. Most of the throw-ins that they've had the opportunity, particularly down in this right-hand corner, and it's a great position to be in, to put the opposition under pressure, and they've basically chucked it away. They haven't done anything with these throw-ins, and there's Graham Shinney just lobbing the ball forward, and will anything come of it? Likelihood is no, but I think it kind of mirrors the rest of the game, doesn't it? There's another one up in the air as well. Yeah. You need to get the ball down, you need to try and pass it, you need to try to be more constructive and creative.
It's not winning any beauty contests, this game of football, but it's Hearts who come forward with who's the drama. Out to the left-hand side, it's Spittle. He's got a chance to cut in on the right, back onto the left. Devlin trying to close him down. He's got the cross in, but Doohan holds on at his near post and clutches him underneath his crossbar. Stays Aberdeen 0, Hearts 0.
Yeah, decent from Blair Spittle there, taking Nicky Devlin on and coming in the inside and then taking him on the outside, and it's quite an intelligent little dink into the box as well. If he'd have got a little bit more on it, he might have found one of his teammates, but Doohan, he's in a good position, he's positioned himself well, and it's quite an easy take.
Devlin goes back to his goalkeeper, and then he turns it to his left for Nielsen. I think Aberdeen hoping to make another 3 or 4 signings this window. There may be exits as well. Hearts will be active too. We've got one of their new boys on the bench, Elton Kabangu, on loan from Union Saint-Gilloise in Belgium. Long ball forward for Aberdeen, headed away by Halkett. The Dons haven't been a threat for the last 10-15 minutes since Keskinen had that opportunity. She's screwed wide. Hearts have a man down. Play is continuing. Spittle rolls it back. It was George Grant, and he's okay. He's back to his feet. And Hearts have it with Halkett. We're well into the final minute of the 45. 1 to be added. It is Hearts in possession with McCart. Short ball to Devlin, back to Jamie McCart, and now with Devlin. It's a good move for Jamie McCart this. He's returned to Scotland after 3 years at Rotherham, with loans at Leyton Orient and Barnsley whilst he was there. Coming back to Scotland, coming back to one of the biggest clubs in the country as well. As Grant picks up for Hearts, forward to Wilson, lays it off back to Spittle, out to Penrice. I think Aberdeen would prefer the half-time interval right now out of these two teams as we go into the solitary minute of stoppage time. Half-time would suit the hosts more than it would the visitors right now. Beningame back to Devlin, left of the centre circle, out to Penrice. Little ball forward to Spittle. Penrice has continued his run and he's onto it. Left-hand side of the area, up against Shinney, who gets the touch and knocks it out for a throw-in to Hearts, though he thinks it should have gone the other way. It'll be a Hearts throw-in level with the Aberdeen penalty spot. The visitors have finished the first half very strongly. Aberdeen started it well, but Hearts weathered it, and they've been the better team for the last 15 minutes.
No, they have, and so much so that Graham Shinney finds himself in the right back position on far too many occasions for Matt, like in having to cover.
Aberdeen clear through Palaversa to the right for Clarkson, and that's the minute just about up, and that will be the half-time whistle any second now. Indeed, there it goes. And Aberdeen were on the attack there down the left when the half-time whistle went, and that just, of course, endears Stephen McLean to the Aberdonians some more. But it was time up, to be fair to the ref, as the Dons came down the left with Ockles. Doesn't matter. Not too much to get excited about in that first half here at Pittodrie. Aberdeen with a really early opportunity through their new signing Tobers, saved well by Craig Gordon at point blank range. Keskinen's had a couple of opportunities, the second of which was the best of them. Found himself in behind the defence and managed to screw a low shot with the left foot past the right hand post when it looked like he was set to give Aberdeen the lead here. Hearts haven't really tested Ross Doohan. They've had a couple of good moves down the right and left. Spittle and Penrice look a constant danger. Oyegoke does too down this right hand side. But at half time at Pittodrie, not too much to warm up the crowd, I'm afraid. It is Aberdeen 0, Heart of Midlothian 0.
Radio Scotland.
Wake up to Good Morning Scotland.
How much of a reduction will people see this year?
We're working to get waiting lists and waiting times down.
We started 2025 by interviewing the leaders of Scotland's larger political parties.
Well, we'll see if there's any pain yet to come through this interview.
It wouldn't be GMS if there wasn't.
Public services will suffer.
We disagree. You cannot tax your way to economic growth.
All that money will now be diverted into frontline social care.
We will not vote against this budget because they already have the numbers.
Why not vote for it?
Would you ever do a deal with the SNP again?
It would always be a decision that was made democratically.
Good Morning Scotland. Listen now on BBC Sounds.
And join us every morning for all the big interviews and everything you need to know across the year on BBC Radio Scotland.
This is Sports Time with me, Richard Gordon. Half-time in the two Premiership matches. It is here at Pittodrie. Aberdeen 0, Heart of Midlothian 0. It's Rangers 3, St Johnstone 0. Hamza Egeman, Václav Černý and Mohamed Diamande, the goal scorers there. In SWPL 1 this afternoon, the women's game, an astonishing scoreline. Rangers beating Queen's Park by 14 goals to 0. It was Glasgow City 6, Aberdeen 1. Into stoppage time, and it's Dundee United 1 at Motherwell 6. So lots of goals, plenty of goals in the three matches there. Hibernian Spartans kicks off at 4. Celtic against Partick Thistle at 4:10. Glasgow City still 5 points clear at the top of the table. Rangers women, incidentally, have now scored 91 goals in 18 matches so far this season, but they trail by 5 points at the top of the table. There was to be one game in the Championship this afternoon, of course, the rearranged game, Morton against Greenock Morton against Raith Rovers. That was postponed on the Saturday, moved to the Sunday, but there was a gas leak, I seem to recall, which they weren't going to get fixed in time, so that game was off as well. It did leave us just with those two games in the Premiership. Busy weekend in the FA Cup, where today Doncaster have knocked Hull City out on penalties. Spurs eventually took a grip of their tie at Tamworth. It was 0-0 after 90 minutes. Spurs go through 3-0 in extra time. Half-time, Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0. Crystal Palace 1-0 up on Stockport. Ipswich 3-0 against Bristol Rovers. And half-time at St James's Park is Newcastle United 1, Bromley 1. Bromley taking the lead very early in that one. 1-1 it is at the break. So, well, let's start at Ibrox. We had a chat beforehand about Rangers' strength at home, about the plight, the predicament facing St Johnstone. It must have felt even worse, Billy, just 26 minutes in, Rangers having scored 3 goals in the space of 10 minutes.
Yeah, Rangers have been absolutely ruthless. Richard, I am watching St Johnstone peeking through my hands. I swear, this is kamikaze football from St Johnstone. You wait to see the goals tonight yourself and Willie when you get home, and how they are in possession, trying to build from back. Some people, as I said, will say it's brave, but as soon as they lose it, and they've no end product because they never get into the final third, they play into midfield and they get it nicked, they are out of position. Willie, you'd be having kittens as a centre half. I'm telling you, try to be forced to build from the back. This is not the time of the place. You're 8 points adrift at the bottom of the Premier League. You're not fully confident. I think, and where Rangers are, try and put them under pressure. I'm not saying you win the game. You might set up defensively and you still might lose the game, Rich, but my word, they have helped with their own downfall, especially the second 2 goals. When the second goal, they make a pass and Nicky Clark gives it away in midfield. They just get it. Danilo turns and just rolls it through, and their back 3 are not set. And Černý just goes 1-on-1 and pops it in. The next one, they give it away again, the third goal, and they just do it quickly, Rangers, and they put a cross in the box. And because Saunders is having to adjust, he's going back the way. He could put it over the crossbar, he could flick it out to his right hand side. He pops up there. It is the perfect assist for Diamande to come in and just head into an empty net. It is incredible. So masters of their own downfall. Rangers absolutely ruthless. It could have been anything here. We're saying 3, they've had more chances, could have been 5 or 6. So Rangers doing their bit, but St Johnstone are just giving them a huge helping hand.
Well, I guess what will be interesting, Billy, is whether Simo Valakari tries to do something to stem the flow in the second half, but also, by the sound of things, it will be largely down to the attitude, the mentality of those Rangers players. If they want to go on and absolutely rack up the goals this afternoon, there's every chance they're able to do so.
Yeah, especially if he doesn't do something with the system. I think he'll continue. I think he'll say, you buy kicks, you play from the back. But to pass the full length of the pitch from building up from a by kick from the back, especially when you're rock bottom of the league and you're low in confidence, is asking a lot. You've got to read the room a little bit and say, right, I know we want to play expansive football, but there's times and places to do it. Ibrox is not one of them. If they don't tweak the system or sit that system back to try and counter-attack and not play open football, yeah, I think it could be 5, 6, maybe even 7, and it's up to Rangers with what they have to do. They've got themselves where this could have been a tricky day for them, Rich, you know that. And if they could kept in the game, the crowd might have turned, and where Rangers are just now, that 18 points now going to be 15 points behind Celtic. It might have just asked them a few questions, but if Rangers fancy it now and they all want a bit of the ball, you know what it's like as well when they're passing, they're running, the movement off the ball's good, and Rangers look as if they could go on and get more. We've seen also teams just say, well, 3's enough, and they just let it peter out. But I'll tell you, if Rangers fancy it and St Johnstone do the same things, anything could be the scoreline. Well,
it's clearly going to be 3 points for Rangers, and it means that both Czerny and Egeman, Billy, on the 12 goals alongside Dessers this season. Egeman in particular. I mean, Czerny had a spell, didn't he, where he was the main man, but certainly in recent weeks Hamza Egeman has really come to the fore, and he's kept up this fine goal scoring run he's been on.
He's a player, there's no doubt. He's still got loads to learn, but he's got his goal. Had another chance with a flick with the outside his right boot, and then they start showboating. You've seen him do that. He likes his nutmegs, he likes to get at people, be direct, he's got tricks. And then there was one where, in fact it was him and Czerny twisting and turning inside the box on the right hand side. He overdid it. He ended up coming back on his left, then back on his right. He put it to Egeman. Egeman popped up, Rich, if they put it on Sports Scene tonight, and went for the overhead kick, but usually do it with your right foot, but he did it with his left foot and got a brilliant connection on it. It was well wide, but it was showboating, and that's where Rangers are at, and their two main players are enjoying it today.
Willie, I think it's fair to say there's not been much in the way of showboating here at Pittodrie.
Are you bored, boys?
It's not been a pleasant experience thus far, generally, has it, Willie?
No, it's not, Richard. It's been poor quality, to be perfectly honest. Maybe the first 10 minutes, I'm actually pushing it for 10 minutes. I think it was maybe 7 when I looked up at the clock, and Aberdeen, were playing the high press. They were winning the ball back. They were putting... They made Hearts look ordinary and look nervous, and Hearts constantly gave the ball away. But then as the game went on, actually Hearts began to get more and more into it and more pressure, and look, the more liable to score. And Aberdeen, struggling. They've had a couple of opportunities, Aberdeen. The Tobers chance from the corner kick, which was the second corner kick that was eventually, drilled in and flicked on at the near post, and you felt that Craig Gordon did really well. It was a bit of a scramble, it wasn't a save that you would point out. It was more a reactive save at the near post, and that chance was gone. Keskinen's got the best chance of the game. It's this bit of lovely reverse passes onto. He's coming in from the left hand side. He tries to hit the far post. He's got to at least make the goalkeeper work, in my opinion. He's got to try and hit the target. Obviously he did try to hit it, but he didn't. He misfired, and it slid by that back post. Hearts, the one chance where it was George Grant and James Wilson, where they had 3 kind of opportunities at it and 3 kind of a wild swipes, and that kind of sums up the game. There's no composure in it. Everything's done at a breakneck pace. Whenever a player gets the ball, he's not got it under control. He wants to go forward very quickly. Some of the set pieces have just been ridiculously poor, and generally, it's not been a spectacle that these two teams can be proud of. I would imagine that Hearts would be the more happier of the two teams. It's 0-0, and they've gained a bit of control in that first half. For Aberdeen, they've got to improve. It's got to be a better performance in the second half. I think Clarkson's way off it. Nisbet again not showing too much, although his reverse pass was something special. And really not having enough kind of a control in the midfield area. So it's for the home side, I think it's disappointing. The new players, have they made their mark? Tobers looks okay, looks a player that thinks about the game. Oko's not been in it enough for me. Keskinen has been the one that's been, the more prominent. And generally going forward for the home side, it's not been great. And the fans have got they've got the referee to take it out on. At least they're not taking it out on the players. But to be honest, the quality of what they're watching in the first half, they should be taking it out on the players. They should be getting booed at half time. It was the referee that was getting booed at half time, not the players, because it's got to be better. It's got to be much better from Aberdeen.
Yeah, look, I mean, Stephen McLean's had a few moments up here at Pittodrie, but he did baffle us all, I think, by deciding not to penalise Toby Keskinen for the diving header,
a boot,
foul
Penrice,
which took out Penrice as he was about to rampage in the ball. I mean, there'd been a few bizarre moments.
Yeah.
What we've also seen quite clearly, and I think from Clarkson, Palaversa as well, actually, lack of confidence from these players, constantly giving the ball away.
Yeah, and when they're not under pressure as well, Richard, it's not as if they're under pressure and they're giving the ball away. It's unforced errors. And for both of them, I think Clarkson in particular, it's unusual to see him, so much so that he gets himself booked. I think he's frustrated when he puts the challenge in. And Penrice, I think it was over in the right side there, the left back area for Hearts, gets a yellow card. Very unusual to see him losing his temper. But you're showing me something here.
It's a somewhat ironic text from a well-known Hearts fan who has sent a picture, a freeze frame, saying if only the ref had a better view of the Keskinen and Penrice moment out, the referee Steve McLean could not be better placed.
And you can see it. You can see exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to take Penrice out. We can see it up here. Everybody in the ground can see it, apart from the referee. So he's definitely got a point there. But the quality, I think that's a disappointing aspect of this game. It's quite a good crowd. A lot of home fans here, but for me, plenty of energy, plenty of effort in it. But football isn't just all about effort and energy. There's got to be a bit of composure. There's got to be a bit of understanding when to slow the game down and when to speed it up. And I'm just not seeing it from either team. Probably seen it a little bit more from Hearts and Aberdeen.
Yeah, Hearts' issue has been that they've had no quality up front. I mean, they talked about this so much this season, about the fact that when Shanklin's in there, yes, maybe contributing to the team, but not scoring. Wilson has just not had a look in, other than the chance early on where he miskicked it twice. Spittle and Penrice certainly more prominent. Drama, Mr. Drama has just been invisible, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's been Hearts have been good down there, left-hand side. And Penrice in particular for me has been, he's shown a lot of energy, he's shown a lot of pace, but he's shown a lot of quality and control of the ball as well. And the linking up with Devlin, down that left-hand side have been a problem for Aberdeen. So it's all to play for in the second half.
Players coming back out here, I'm sure the same at Ibrox. If you want to hear live second half commentary, Aberdeen against Hearts, it's on Radio Scotland Extra, digital, medium wave online with Willie Miller and Liam McLeod. Rangers against St Johnstone, pick that up on BBC Sounds FM or online with Thomas Duncan and Billy Dodds.
On digital radio,
FM,
online at BBC Sports Scotland,
your smart speaker,
and on BBC Sounds.
This is Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
Off the top and in! What a strike! What a goal!
The third meeting of the season between Aberdeen and Hearts, as we welcome listeners to BBC Radio Scotland Extra and on medium wave and on digital for Aberdeen Hearts. And it's Hearts who kick off, going right to left towards the beach end. Richard Donald standing there, navy change kit, Aberdeen all in red and white, as that long ball for Hearts goes out to play for a throw-in over on the far side. No changes for either manager during the half-time interval for the start of the second half, so it's as you were, and Aberdeen have Doohan in goal. Devlin, Tobers, Nielsen, McGarry, Palaversa, Shinnie, Keskinen, Clarkson, Ockles and Nisbet. Hearts, Gordon in goal, Oyegoke, Halkett, McCart, Penrice, Cammy Devlin, Beningame with Drama, Grant, Spittle supporting Wilson, or at least trying to. And it's McCart in possession here in the centre circle, clips it forward with the left foot. Mr. Drama loses out, but it breaks to Beningame. And out to the far side for Grant. Now Oyegoke. Oyegoke showed a little bit too much of it to Palaversa, and Aberdeen have it back on that left-hand side. The Hearts player has stayed down. Shinnie goes back to Nielsen. It wasn't a head knock, so Aberdeen are perfectly allowed to play on, but the ref has decided to blow his whistle and stop the game anyway. And it wasn't a head knock for Oyegoke. McGarry over there is shaking his head, because it was he and Palaversa helped win it back off the Hearts number 5.
Yeah, there's nothing in it. Plus he causes it himself with his fancy footwork, and there's no way that he's injured. And you know, I think we could all see that. He's up, he's back, no problem at all. The referee getting what he should be getting for that decision from the fans.
Aberdeen have it with Nielsen then. He's rolling it to Palaversa to his left, and then to Nielsen. The benches today: Tom Ritchie's a sub-goalie for Aberdeen, McGrath, Polvara, Duke, Morris, McDonald, Boyd, Ambrose and NM. For Hearts, it's Fulton, the sub-goalie, Rolls, Forrest, Boateng, Kabangu, the new signing, Danda, Nielsen, Forrester, Vargas. Options for both as the second half goes on. Here's Tobers just throwing it out to Nicky Devlin on this near side. His namesake Cammy comes to meet him. Here he goes, Nicky Devlin down the right. It's a chip ball into the penalty area. Too high for Clarkson, breaks to the back end and rifled. I mean, I'm astonished about what happened there. Ockles has picked it up left hand side first time, and he's lumped it straight out for a throw-in right in front of us, on the opposite side of the pitch.
You know, it kind of sums it up, what I was saying, you know, at half time. You know, it's just the ball comes to him, it's bouncing, it needs to be under control. I don't know what he's thinking about, what's in his mind, which it's obviously he's trying a shot, surely. Isn't he trying a cross? He's put it from the left hand side out for a throw-in. In the right hand side, no control of the ball, swiping at it with no real intent, no real understanding of what you got to do in a game of football. And that, first and foremost, get the ball under control.
He's worked with Jimmy Tellene before, has Jeppe Ockels on loan from Preston, played under Tellene at Elfsborg, who sold him to Utrecht for €3 million just last summer. As Aberdeen pick up at the edge of their own box with Tobers, and he switches it to Nielsen. Nielsen then driving forward up towards the halfway line, and long ball looking for Keskinen. Now can he outpace McCart? McCart's done really well initially, and then he does well with the clearance too, with 3 Aberdeen players surrounding him. He's out of play for a throw-in off McGarry on the far side as he challenged Drama, and that will be a Hearts throw just before the midway point of their own half over there. Aberdeen shooting towards the red shed, paddock, Merklin Road, King Street end, whatever you want to call it these days, as Nielsen knocks it forward, helped on its way by Clarkson, and then up into the air from Oyegoke into the midfield. Shinnie's header into the Hearts half, comes off Beningame. And Drama has found Grant. Mr. Drama's gone down, and he's stayed down for now. Hearts are on an attack here, so he might be bouncing up quicker than had Aberdeen been in possession. Comes back though to McCart, and now Halkett, and he pushes it forward to Beningame. I think Liam Boyce has returned to the Hearts team in recent weeks. I don't think you can underestimate how important his role in the team was. He signed for Derry City. It was confirmed yesterday. He's left the club, the veteran now. But I think he was bringing the best out in James Wilson amidst this absence of Lawrence Shankland.
I think the young striker needs someone. He doesn't have anyone up there. He's been anonymous. There's no kind of an intent in terms of runs in behind or coming short and getting the ball. It's been a stroll for Aberdeen's 2 centre backs. It's been a really easy afternoon so far. He's got to be much more energetic, much more thoughtful, make runs where he's not getting pinned down, and I think most of all he needs a little bit of help, a little bit of support up there with him. I don't think Grant's getting up there often enough to get close enough to him.
A couple of fouls there which go Hearts' way, and it's now with Grant inside his own half, and he moves it right up the centre circle for Halkett. Short ball infield to Grant. Really important half of football this for both clubs. Aberdeen can't buy a win right now, and this atrocious run And Hearts still at the wrong end of the table, despite the fact they've hit a bit more form in recent weeks and have got themselves up towards the top 6 and looking up the way rather than behind them, but still sitting in that position in the league table, and they want to get away from that as soon as possible. Sitting in 11th, 23 points from their 22 matches isn't good enough. It's the 6 wins so far, but there has, as we said in the first half, been flickers of life in recent weeks. There's 2 1-0 victories in their last 2 with clean sheets. And that goes out to play for a throw-in on the far side. Talking of clean sheets, it's something Aberdeen can barely manage. They've had serious problems with that. Their last clean sheet was the 1-0 win over Dundee United here, and that's their only one in the league since the end of August.
Yeah, there's obviously work needed to be done by Jimmy Tulleen on the defensive side of the game, and it hasn't been good enough, that's for sure.
Craig Gordon comes to the edge of his box and clears. Aberdeen tried to forage forward, played 50, almost 52, 0-0. Here's Nisbet for Aberdeen. We give her Clark's, it's an overhit pass though, and it comes right through to Gordon, and there's now murmurings of discontent from the Aberdeen supporters about the performance here.
You can understand why, Liam. It's not been a good performance. You're struggling to pick out a player that really have shone. You're struggling to pick out an Aberdeen player that has played to his capabilities. Nisbet's not been anywhere near it.
He's been a bit of a disappointment, hasn't he?
Oh, I think so, yeah. He's not found his form, he's not found his fitness either, and he just doesn't look
There's
at
a chance for Hearts. Oyegoke driving down the right. It was a good ball out to him, right hand side of the box. Low ball in, cut out by Nielsen, and behind for a Hearts corner over on the Hearts right in front of their supporters.
Oyegoke in this occasion finding way too much room down the right hand side, and it's Sivert Nielsen that reads it well, gets himself in the proper position to stop the low cross coming in, but giving away the corner.
Taken over on that far side by Penrice. Grant's out there as a short option. Penrice just weighing up those options right now. Looks like it's coming straight into the box here. 3 Hearts players at the left angle of the 6-yard box. He has taken it short to Grant. Back it comes to Penrice. Low ball to the edge of the area. Spittle hits it first time over the bar. More than capable though, Blair Spittle. So if you can get the ball in and around the feet of Blair Spittle outside the box, then why not? Because we know what he can do from there.
You're expecting more from him, aren't you? It's well worked, the little short corner, and setting Spittle up to have the right foot shot, but he just doesn't catch it well enough. He's got to do much better again. Although it was a well worked set piece, the quality finish wasn't good enough.
Hearts have it in the midfield with Cammy Devlin. Spittle just showed too much of it to Shinnie. Shinnie finds Palaversa. Back to Shinnie, tries to get it through to Clarkson, but again it's another ball that goes awry, and Spittle has it, sweeps it forward. Tobers is there, can knock it to Nicky Devlin. First time ball back to Nielsen. It was good from Nicky Devlin. Nielsen carrying it into midfield. It's a long ball looking for Topi Keskinen. Keskinen is then wiped out by Cammy Devlin. And we have free kick to Aberdeen midway inside the Hearts half. Free kick only. 0-0 at Pittodrie, 54 on the clock.
I think that's probably right. There's a bit of a shoulder charge, a bit of a coming together, and the intent was there. The referee might have went for his yellow card, but I don't think it was really required. Gives Aberdeen an opportunity, but maybe 40 yards out, something like that, certainly 35 yards out, to get the Hearts defence tested a little bit. And from an Aberdeen point of view, you hope that Leighton Clarkson's quality is a bit better, more like him, you would hope.
Yeah, Clarkson over it's quite central as he pops it into the box, headed away, and then the offside flag's gone up anyway, so nothing's going to come of it. And the standard of play there was in keeping with the rest of the match. It stays Aberdeen 0, Hearts 0 here, and it is 3-1 now at Ibrox. Jack Sanders has pulled one back for St Johnstone. The comeback's on. Duke is going to replace Nisbet. It sounds as though Kevin Nisbet's staying for the season, by all accounts. He's on loan from Millwall. Alec Neil, of course, has just taken over there. I did wonder if he'd head back to London this window, because he hasn't made the impact that I think Aberdeen certainly wanted him to. I mean, he's taken Miovski's jersey, but he offers nothing compared to what Bojan Miovski offered, and it is Duke who comes on. And you're having to then go to a guy who probably still doesn't want to be here.
Yeah. No, he's made that clear, but at the same time, he's got ability, he's got quality, and if Jimmy Talleen can get that ability out of him, then he is a threat through the middle. He's got plenty of strength and pace, and at least you've got someone that is maybe an out ball. You don't have that when Nisbet's up there. You can't just throw it over the top and expect him to run onto it. He's not really looking for that type of ball. He's looking for something to create, whereas Duke is one that can create it himself by his strength and his pace.
So Luis Lopez on for Aberdeen to replace Nisbet. So goes out for a Hearts throw-in over on the far side. And is midway inside Aberdeen territory. Oyegoke's over it. He's going to bowl it back the way to Halkett. 56.5 minutes, nothing each. Here come Hearts. Beningami's moving towards the edge of the box. Finds Spittle. Rolls it with the right foot, side foot out to the left-hand side of the Aberdeen box for Penrice. Looking to hit the byline here. Penrice gets the ball across. The header was initially won by Drama, but he doesn't really catch it very well. And Aberdeen are able to block and clear. Cammy Devlin's back onto it. He's found Grant. Back to Cammy Devlin. Chance here for Hearts, and it's a woeful attempted ball across from Cammy Devlin. And the Aberdeen free kick just a minute ago, and Cammy Devlin's cross there. The Ockles ball on the left-hand side of the Hearts box. That just little microcosms of this match.
Yeah, but it's well worked. The Hearts move is well worked down the left-hand side, and Devlin finds himself again under no real pressure. All he has to do is get the cam head on, look up and drill it across the face of the goal, or pick out one of his teammates. He plays it long, hard and high, nowhere near any of his striking partners there, and as another opportunity, well built up but just drastically executed.
Ockles on the far side, gets it back to Nielsen. He squares it to Tobers, who arrived for big money relative to Aberdeen certainly, and put Hearts in that bracket as well. 700,000 roughly they spent bringing him from Grasshoppers. Nielsen picks up and squares it to Tobers again here. His ball into midfield, it's cut out by Cammy Devlin, but he couldn't control him. Palaversa knocks it forward to Keskinen. McCart sticking to him and at least trying to. Keskinen burning away, gets the ball pulled back, and it's cleared by Halkett and picked up on the left, still in play. Ockles taking on Cammy Devlin. Rolls it back to the edge of the box. McGarry shoots, and it's a dreadful attempt again. It's almost like he was about to have a nosebleed there as it came to him. He was encouraged to shoot by the supporters, and then he hit it with the outside of the boot eventually. He was never going to beat Craig Gordon. It was blocked anyways. Palaversa chips in, but Gordon holds on. And it's Aberdeen 0, Hearts 0, almost in 59.
Yeah, but Keskinen doing well, again, down that left-hand side and taking on McCart. I thought McCart was poor actually defensively, allowing Keskinen to go past him down the left and actually drill one across the face of the goal. He looked as though he was struggling pace-wise, McCart, and Keskinen getting the ball under control this time and then showing the turn of pace and causing the Hearts defence a problem or two.
Foul by McGarry over there. That will be a Hearts free kick, which they've taken quickly. It's back to McCart now. Cammy Devlin switches it out to Halkett on the right, and then into the midfield for Beningame, who moves it back to McCart. So look up and sees what's ahead of him. He's looking for Oyegoke with the long ball. McGarry's underneath it with the header. Oyegoke lets it go out for a Hearts throw-in. Over on the Hearts right as they attack the goal to the left in the second half. Rangers 3, St Johnstone 1 is the scoreline at Ibrox. Coverage of that continues on BBC Radio Scotland FM and on Sounds. Here on Radio Scotland Extra, on 810 medium wave, on digital. And of course both matches available online at bbc.co.uk/sportscotland. Highlights of the two. Not sure how long the highlights package will be from this one, to be fair. It'll have to be a certain length. Sports Scene 7:15 on the BBC Scotland channel tonight, and it's going to be an Aberdeen free kick for a foul on Duke on the halfway line. Palaversa takes back to Nielsen, then back to Palaversa. Now with Nielsen Aberdeen have a game in hand over many of the other clubs in the league. It is, though, at Ibrox during the week, which maybe shows you how important it is for them to win this game, as Duke picks up and finds Nicky Devlin, right-hand side of the Hearts box, pulls it back, breaks to Duke, encouraged to shoot, he does. Blocked by McCart. I'm not sure how threatened Craig Gordon would have been had it got through. McGarry forward to Keskinen, up against Craig Halkett, strong against him as well, and then he goes out of play for an Aberdeen throw-in on the far side, level with the Hearts penalty spot.
It's a bit better, isn't it? You know, at least there's strikes coming from outside the box and a little bit of pressure from the home side, giving the fans something to cheer about. They haven't had much so far this afternoon, but that has given them a little bit of hope.
Palaversa has it, knocks it forward, and then it breaks to Clarkson on the far side, keeps it in play, turns it back down the line to McGarry, infield to Palaversa. He loses out to George Grant, who has it, and it's a long ball from Grant, which is cut out by Nielsen, and out for a throw into Hearts over on the far side. Yemi Talene down there. He lost one of his assistants this week, in Emir Bayrami, who, former Sweden international, has gone back home for family reasons, resigned his position here. Says he's going to address that once the transfer window is over. There's a Hearts throw-in on the far side to be taken by Oyegoke. Goalless at Pittodrie. Palaversa goes back to Nielsen, who in turn goes back to Ross Doohan. Wilson chasing him down, the Aberdeen keeper gets rid of it, but he's got it straight to Beningame. Pushing header to his left for Spittle, and now it's with Penrice. Out to Blair Spittle on the near side, looking to work it back to Penrice. Well covered by Graham Shinney, but he can't prevent the throw. Level with the Hearts 18-yard line on this near side.
He's done that a lot in the game, isn't he? Graham Shinney, you know, he's worked tirelessly down the Aberdeen right-hand side to fill in for in behind Nicky Devlin. Whenever, you know, he's getting dragged forward, then Graham Shinney's there to make sure that left-hand side of Hearts is eventually thwarted, because they have been pretty prominent down that side.
There's no doubt that Hearts need to get the ball to Spittle and Penrice as often as possible. As Halkett picks up right of the centre circle, squares it to McCart. Now it's with Halkett. And the entire Aberdeen team in front of him as he squares it to McCart, and then Grant goes back to Halkett. Knocks it into midfield for Beningame, and then back to Craig Halkett. I mentioned Aberdeen's midweek game at Ibrox. It's Wednesday night, live on Sports Sound. The night before, Dundee host Celtic. That will even things up, I think, pretty much across the Premiership as far as number of games played by each team. As Beningame picks up for Hearts, now Spittle forward to Grant. Evades the challenge of Tobers, but Hearts give it away, and now it's Duke with a woeful touch, keeping with everything else, and now it's with Grant. Moves it to the edge of the centre circle for Beningame, forward to Drama, out to Oyegoke, up against McGarry. We're going to get the cross in. In fact, he decided to drive at McGarry. It was the wrong decision, because he's given it away. And now Aberdeen have it with Palaversa, firing it out to this near side for Duke. Taking on Penrice, one way then the other, out to the touchline. Penrice slides in, out of play it goes. Might well be a free kick Stephen McLean's given here. In fact, he's going to yellow card Penrice. Well, the Aberdeen fans delighted with that, because they thought Penrice was diving in the first half. But there's an argument to say, and Willie's getting a chance to see a replay, of it not even being a foul, let alone a yellow.
He goes in from the side and the back, really. He doesn't get the ball, that's his problem.
Was there no touch there? No,
there was no touch.
Okay.
I didn't see the touch. You know, he's kind of tried to make the tackle through the legs of Duke, and I don't really think it's on to tackle there. I think Penrice has got to show more composure. He just gets himself back goal side, and you know, there isn't any danger. He goes in rashly. There's another rash one over on the other side of the park, and he gets him. Penrice gets himself. But sorry, we're laughing because you know, players are just diving into challenges that just are not there.
Yeah.
They're not there. You know, show a bit of calmness. Let's show a bit of composure, a bit of thoughtfulness in the game. We're not seeing it at all.
Well, let's see what Hearts' new signing Elton Kabangu's all about, because he is coming on. Not sure who he's replaced. In fact, over there it's Drama. Aberdeen are going to make a double change. Jamie McGrath and Dante Polvara are going to come on. One is an American, the other may well be off to America. And Jamie McGrath has found himself out of the starting 11 in recent times. He's not been able to recreate the form from early in the season. Tobers comes off, so Polvara must be going back into defence. Clarkson's come off as well. So there's the changes for Aberdeen for the closing 24 minutes now. 0-0 here, 3-1 Rangers at Ibrox. And now a first touch for Polvara, who missed out on all those wins early in the season because of injury. Nielsen, a poor ball forward cut out by Grant, breaks back to Sivert Nielsen though. Forward it comes, and then it's Ockles looking to work it through to Duke, but it goes straight through to McCart. He goes back to his goalkeeper. Long ball from Gordon up towards halfway. Shinnie's underneath it. Picked up by McGrath. McGrath's then caught clearly there by Devlin, and he's going to be booked, I would have thought. Cammy Devlin, was he? Well, that's more of a booking than the Penrice one, and the card stays in the pocket.
Yeah, it's a strange decision. You know, it's a rash one again. You know, I think the referee is perhaps feeling that there isn't any intent there. It's more a coming together, and I would probably agree with him. I think it's like just about every challenge that I've watched in this game, there's no thoughtfulness goes into it. People just run into each other. It's just body against body. Some work is required with these players.
It's a terrible game.
It's just awful.
I mean, it's not often I say that, but it has been terrible. It is 0-0. There's still a quarter of this to go, this spectacle. And free kick here for Aberdeen to be taken by Palaversa. On this right-hand side, flips it into the box. Too high for Polvara, Hearts head clear. Shinnie knocks it back in. It comes all the way through to Craig Gordon, and it stays Aberdeen 0, Hearts 0.
Yeah, you know, another promising opportunity for Aberdeen, and it's basically wasted and squandered, and you know, that lack of composure again coming into play. So we can only hope that it gets a little bit better, and that some of the substitutions that have been made can improve the quality of the game, and we might see a chance or two being created, and perhaps even, if we're really lucky, maybe a goal or two as well.
Ever the optimist, Willie Miller, as Hearts prepare to take a throw in over on the far side, midway inside the Aberdeen half. 22 to play. Hearts on the ball on the far side. Oyegoke back into his own half for Halkett. Squares it for McCart. Now Cammy Devlin. McGrath with him. Looking for a bit of revenge. Now it's Jamie McCart, and he's knocked it forward down the left-hand side. Penrice giving chase. Nicky Devlin covers across, the two former Livingston players. A good challenge by Nicky Devlin, and out for a Hearts throw-in down by the corner flag. Down to the left, Hearts attacking the beach end in the second half. This throw-in and about the Pittodrie tunnel. Penrice over it. And it comes towards the man who's just on Kabangu, and then Aberdeen clear through Shinnie. Kabangu coming on for drama. He's centre forward. He'll go up there to support Wilson. It's positive move by Neil Critchley as he tries to win a third game in a row for the first time since last April.
Yeah, it is positive. He looks a big physical specimen as well, doesn't he? You know, and I just feel that Wilson hasn't done enough. He hasn't done enough to disturb the two Aberdeen centre backs, and he needs a little bit of a help, needs a little bit of a strength. And I think that, you know, by putting Kabangu up there, you just feel that there's more of a target for Hearts to maybe hit and go back to front a little bit more quickly than what they have done, you know, for the majority of this game.
It says it all about the centre-back issues Aberdeen have had this season, that they look more comfortable with central midfield players in there. It's Polvara and Nielsen right now as Palaversa picks up in the centre circle. Little spin by Shinnie. He works it out to Nicky Devlin on this near side. Forward to Duke. Penrice is all over him. And then it comes off Duke, does it? No, off Penrice last, and out for an Aberdeen throw-in. Midway inside Hearts territory. We've just gone into the final 20 minutes here. 3-1 to Rangers at Ibrox. Goalless here. Nicky Devlin over the throw, and he bowls it back into his own half for Polvara. He finds Palaversa. to Polvara again, and back to the Croatian. Long ball looking for McGrath, the header away by Oyegoke. Shinnie wins it back in a good area for Aberdeen. Now it's McGrath to his left for Shinnie, out to the far side for Ockles, and Shinnie back to the halfway line on the centre spot pretty much for Polvara, who turns it to his left for Nielsen, to Palaversa. The longest period in possession for Aberdeen in the second half. They're not really going anywhere with it. Nicky Devlin goes back to Polvara. Hearts pushing well. Polvara squares it to Nielsen. Long ball by Sivert Nielsen, trying to mix things up a bit, but it's a comfortable headed victory there for Jamie McCart against Duke, as McGrath loses out on the far side to Oyegoke. He's managed to work it down the line here for Grant, who's got space to operate in here. McGarry trying to get back at him. It's the early ball in. It's a decent one, and Kapangu draws a brilliant save from Doohan with a header. He's left at the penalty spot. That was headed for the top left, I think. And Doohan tips it over, and Hearts have a corner. And finally something for a goalkeeper to do in this game.
Yeah, it's a good save.
Second half.
It's a good save, isn't it? I mean, he's at full stretch there. Really well worked with Grant down the right-hand side. Kabangu getting, a good forehead on it. He's got to come back to the park as well.
It's a great
he's
header,
got to manoeuvre his feet. You can see that he's got a bit of quality there. And it's almost nestling in the top corner before Doohan manages just to get a little touch over the bar.
First time they've really tested Doohan. Can they do so again with this corner? It comes in from Spittle towards the back post and headed off the woodwork, and then lost for goal, and then Aberdeen clear on the 6-yard line. I think Hearts claim it's come off a hand there as well inside the box, so there may well be a penalty coming Hearts' way here. We're going to have to wait and see. Willie will get a chance to see the replays. The header at the back post, I'm not sure who it was. It came clattering off the goal frame here. It was McCart. He had his head in his hands, and then it was blocked by McGrath. Hearts feel it's come off his arm. And Willie's getting a chance to look at it.
I don't think it does come off the arm. It's all very congested in there. There's a tackle as well that Hearts are complaining about that will need to be checked too. But we're waiting to see what the referee. It doesn't look as though there's the check has taken place, and they're away to play on. And I think that's the right outcome. I don't think it hit the hand, and although the challenge came in a little bit late, I think it was after the ball was played away.
It was the header from McCart which came off the post. It was almost the exact area Frankie Kent scored for Hearts here this season in the October meeting. Throw in for Hearts. Penrice pulls it into the box. Polvara heads it half away. Almost broke to Spittle, the edge of the box. The challenge though from Nicky Devlin. Hearts emerge with it with Penrice. Sliding in to win it back is Shinnie. He's done brilliantly there, the Don's captain, and he's managed to roll it forward down the right hand side for Keskinen. Beningame sliding in, he can't make the challenge. Keskinen has it, finds Duke, right hand side of the box. His pass into the area is dreadful, and it's cleared, and then Duke goes in late on Penrice. He's going to be penalised. He might be booked as well. He is. Yellow for Duke. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, the Aberdeen supporters are irate, but it wasn't a good challenge. He's not made massive contact, but the intent was there from Duke.
He goes sliding in. He doesn't have to go sliding into the challenge. It's Penrice has played the ball away too. He's taken the full back out. The referee, I don't think he's got any option. The fans can shout as much as they want. It's a booking.
Yeah, and Jamie McCart. Certainly Hearts' best opportunity of the game. They threaten there with two headers in the space of a minute. First from Kabangu and then McCart at the back post as Luis Lopez goes into the book. So just over 15 minutes to play, 0-0 here on Sports Sound, the BBC Radio Scotland Extra and on 810 medium wave. Craig Gordon has it. First time clearance with the right foot out to the far side. McGarry wins the header. Picked up the loose ball by Kabangu, finds Grant and goes back to Halkett. Hearts finish the first half strongly. Is it to be that they will finish the second half strongly? They want a bit of revenge in Aberdeen because the Dons won it very late in the day in that autumnal meeting. Long ball comes off the head of McGarry but goes back towards his own goal, and Kabangu's onto it. Faced by Ockles. Kabangu lays it back to Beningame, and then out to Oyegoke on the right hand side. Gets the ball into the area, comes off an Aberdeen head, but it breaks to Spittle. Spittle trying to get space for the shot. Aberdeen clear. Penrice back in, away by Palaversa. A good spell for Hearts this. Polvara lumps it up into the dark sky now. Hearts with McCart forward and then headed away by McGarry. Halkett wins the header against Duke. And McGarry helps it on its way, but it's going to come right through to Cammy Devlin. It looks right now, if there's to be a winner, that's going to come for Hearts, Willie. They're having a good spell again.
No, they are, yeah. The control and the pace of the game. You know, the game has been played in the home team's half. You know, I think Graham Shinney's been outstanding defensively today on a number of occasions, and Aberdeen really are just hoping to hit something in the break. And when they do get the opportunity, you know, not picking out a player, not picking out a red jersey, and giving possession away way too easily. So I agree with you. I think so far up to this point, Hearts have been the better team, created the better opportunities, and look more likely, if there is going to be a winner, to be them.
Well, Jimmy Talline's changes early in the season were having the desired effect. They were impacting the outcome of matches in his favour. It was Derek Ferguson at Rugby Park recently said that the Aberdeen changes made them worse. Well, the changes he's made, with Duke coming on, certainly not improved them. And Polvara's in trouble. Under pressure, he's knocked it to the right hand side of his own box. It's Wilson, Polvara's challenge. Down goes Kabangu in the box. Stephen McLean has not awarded the penalty, and obviously VAR will be looking at that as we speak. It stays nothing each.
First impression, didn't think it was. You know, I think Kabangu went down way too easily. Wilson doing well for about the first time in the game, and I thought Polvara really handled it particularly well. He showed a lot of composure, didn't dive into it. The striker went down far too easily, and he came out with the ball, did Polvara, so I thought it was really good defending from the Aberdeen player.
Polvara goes back to his goalkeeper. 12 and a half to go of the 90. 0-0. Aberdeen on this losing run just now. Point would stem the flow, but it's a side that's rock bottom of the table going by the last 10 games, picking up 2 points fewer than even St Johnstone. They need wins, Aberdeen. They need to get the engine running again. As that goes out to play for a throw-in. It's no coincidence that they've only won once since the 6-0 humbling at Hampden. And that was the week after against Dundee before the November international break. Since then it has all gone to pot. Ockles to be replaced here by Shayden Morris. I'm quite surprised that he's lasted as long as he has, Ockles, Willie.
Yeah, he's been rather anonymous in the game, so not surprisingly he's been taken off, you know, by Jimmy Talline, giving him enough time and opportunity to impress, but you know, his first game he hasn't done that. And Shayden Morris, you'll be hoping that Shayden Morris can turn the game round. He has done that on a number of occasions for Jimmy Talline. He's got good pace, he likes to hit the byline, and we know how dangerous that can be and how dangerous he can be when he's in the right frame of mind and he gets the right service.
Yeah, Hearts know that, of course. Morris set up Clarkson at Tynecastle for the opening goal as they try and find him here on this near side. It's a good ball to Morris. The control wasn't able to match it though, as it comes off Penrice and out for an Aberdeen throw, which Morris bowls back to Shinnie. Square ball for Palaversa. Then back to Shinnie, to Palaversa. And there's not much movement ahead of him. He does have 4 red shirts, and 5 if you include Morris, who he's passed it to. Back to Palaversa, stabbed away by McCart, picked up by Keskinen, left-hand side of the box. Wasn't a great touch, goes to ground, bounces straight back up against Oyegoke. McGrath rather, digs out the cross, and it's headed away by McCart. There's Shinnie for Nielsen, as Aberdeen have to go back to square one here on the halfway line with Polvara. And a misunderstanding with Morris, who'll chase it, but it's going to come right through to Penrice, who knocks clear. Just touching on the final 10 minutes of the 90 here, goalless, and it's Devlin who hoofs it forward with the right foot. Wilson beaten to it by Nielsen. Palaversa takes it down in the midfield and flicks it straight to Blair Spittle, who's going to be able to play in. Wilson here, Wilson chasing, but Polvara gets back just in time to usher it back to Doohan. Now it's Nicky Devlin. We are on 80 minutes. Morris gives it away to Penrice. Penrice, saw Jimmy Talline down there wanting his players to lift their levels here. It's Penrice's ball forward, gives it away, and now it's cleared, and now it's up to Duke, right of the centre circle, on his own for the moment. Cuts back the way Eventually drops to McGrath, and Morris is in a good position if he can find him. Now Shayden Morris, right hand side of the D, facing McCart, into the box he goes, he shoots and ripples the side net, and it stays Aberdeen 0, Hearts 0.
It was always going to be tight for Shayden Morris, I think. Take McCart on, hit the byline. You know, the defender is anticipating that. Thought it was decent defending from him, not to commit himself, but then Morris decides to pull the trigger, and for that angle, that distance, it was always going to be a difficult one to find the back of the net, and it goes into the side net.
You've got to go back across the keeper in that kind of situation, don't you?
I think you've got to hit the byline, Liam. You know,
but if you're going to shoot,
if you're going to shoot,
yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. But I thought McCart had that blocked. I thought it was decent defending from the central defender. And that's not a phrase I use much these days. But I thought it was. His positioning was good. He anticipated that Morris would want to go to the byline. But I've saw defenders anticipating that before, and Morris still beating him to the byline and cutting it back. For me, that was the best option.
Goal kick Hearts. Gordon takes. It's going to be a double change for the visitors coming up. Danda and Forrest are waiting to come on. Long ball, Nicky Devlin with a header up to halfway. It comes back to Nicky Devlin, who knocks it forward, but it comes all the way through to McCart. It goes back to his keeper. Long ball forward, and then Palaversa with a header straight to Halkett, who finds Beningame. Now Cammy Devlin to Spittle, and out to Penrice on this near side. It's back to Jamie McCart. 8 of 90 left. 0-0. Remains Rangers 3, St Johnstone 1 at Ibrox. Spittle knocking it back to McCart, and then square to Craig Halkett. Aberdeen sitting off them here. Obviously quite happy for Hearts to have possession in the area they have it in right now. McGrath now going to close down Halkett, who launches it long. Straight through to Nielsen though. And now Graham Shinney, that's another overhit pass, and Beningame has it. Whatever the problem is at Aberdeen, they're going to have to sort it soon, because this season could quite quickly get away from them the way it's going right now, as that goes out to play for a Hearts throw, level with the Aberdeen penalty spot over on the far side. So it's going to be Danda and Vargas that's coming on. I thought I saw Alan Forrest down there. Unless they're making 3 changes, I think it may be just the 2. Spittle's coming off to be replaced by Danda, and Vargas is going to come on for Beningame by the looks of it. Beningame's kind of limping a little bit as he makes his way over to the near side touchline. Kenneth Vargas missed a glorious chance here in the October meeting as he comes on. Off comes Spittle, on comes Danda. Aberdeen 0, Hearts 0. Hearts have a throwing up the park here.
You just wonder if you're going to see any real quality, and you're going to see the deadlock broken. You know, as we've been saying, it looks more like Hearts that could do it.
Thrown straight out of play for a goal kick.
He's thrown it. He hasn't controlled it. The youngster. It looks very much out his depth so far in this game. One for the future perhaps, but you know, not very influential in the game, and no real impact.
But he's on the pitch, Willie, and there's still time.
Yeah, he is on the pitch, and you know, Critchley's went with the 2 up top as well, so it's, you know, they've got 2 strikers up there that perhaps you know, might find a way to the Aberdeen goal. Only time will tell.
Penrice has a throw in on this near side, level with the edge of the centre circle in his own half. Main stand side is Penrice. Forward it comes towards Kabangu, one in the air by Nicky Devlin, taken down by McGrath, who plays it off Grant, and out for a throw into Aberdeen on this near side. Nicky Devlin over it, right in the halfway line, bowls it along the line for Palaversa. Forward it comes towards Duke, he's onto it, plays it infield to McGrath. A poor ball by McGrath this time, right through to Gordon.
Yeah, he's looking for Keskinen, but it's, you know, it's just the direction's not right, and the pace is not right as well. You know, and Keskinen decent. I think the thought process was right, but the execution poor. And if that goes out, you know, it stays in, so Keskinen keeps it in.
Yeah, down the far side, down by the corner flag, well defended though by Oyegoke, who wins it back for Hearts as McGrath makes the challenge. Oyegoke felt that. Grant clears and then blasts it straight off his teammate, and out for an Aberdeen throw-in.
That's incredible, isn't it? The lack of composure that we're seeing, and that's
This is the worst game I've seen this season, Willie.
Yeah, I mean, Grant, he has to take a little bit of time there. He just blasts it, he goes straight at Oyegoke, and it catches him in a rather painful area as well, and he goes down, and he's okay, he's getting back up, but time's running out for us to see something special in this game.
Less than 5 in the 90 to play, nothing each. Aberdeen have it on the left-hand side. In comes the cross, cleared by Halkett. Finds Kabangu. He goes down. Left will give the free kick for a foul by Shinnie. Just outside the Hearts box. Will this game just peter out, or will one of them find a winner? Because one goal's deciding this, if there is to be one.
Certainly looks that way. If there is one, there hasn't been too many opportunities created, too many goal-scoring opportunities. That is so. I think we'd be surprised to see a bit of quality in this game and the deadlock broken. But I'll tell you what, that surprise would be welcome.
Craig Gordon with the ball forward, long one with the left foot. Nielsen wins the header as it breaks to Palaversa. Palaversa goes back the way to McGarry. Long ball down the left-hand touchline. Keskinen after it. Oyegoke all over him. And breaks to Halkett. Goes all the way back to Gordon. Gordon at the edge of his box. Long with the left foot. Shinnie with a header. To his left it's with Palaversa. He finds Shinnie. Out to Nicky Devlin. Forrest and Forrester are going to be on for Hearts in their final changes in just a moment. Polvara finds Shinnie. Danda all over him. He spins away from him and turns it down the line on the near side to Nicky Devlin, whose ball in field's cut out by Cammy Devlin. Polvara picks it up and finds Shinnie, who's bursting forward in field to Palaversa. Lost sight of it for a moment, but he has it now and goes back to Nielsen, who crosses the halfway line. McGarry ahead of him, but he gives it straight to Grant. And then Wilson out to Grant, down the line for Vargas, who's driving forward. McGarry way out of position. Vargas driving into the box, shoots, and it's blocked brilliantly there. Outstanding block. Was that Shinnie? He got back there to make the block, and he goes behind for a Hearts corner.
No doubt in my mind that he's been the main man in this game. He's been brilliantly unfortunately for Aberdeen, though, it's been on the defensive side. Just the energy and the understanding, where the threat is, where the danger is, behind the left back, behind the right back, and he's covered every blade of grass. He's been a real captain this afternoon.
Hearts have a corner right in front of their supporters over on that far side. Big chance here. Aberdeen's defence has been poor all season. So Dundee United scoring from a long throw recently, a late winner. Here comes the Hearts corner, headed away by Polvara. Keskinen chasing it. And Aberdeen hitting the counter here. Keskinen trying to get away, might get back onto the pass from McGarry. It's not going to happen. And then breaks to Penrice. He does well. He's covering over on that right-hand side. It's back to Craig Gordon. I believe there's going to be a minimum of 3 minutes added on at the end of the match, as Hearts prepare to make these changes. Forrest and Forrester coming on. Wilson is coming off and will be replaced by Alan Forrest, and young Forrester will replace Oyegoke in a like-for-like change. Aberdeen 0, Hearts 0. We're in the 90th minute. There's less than 4 to play, and then this game will be over and we can all forget about it.
Yeah, and I think 2 changes at this stage tells you that Neil Critchley will be more than happy with a point from this game. Just trying to run the clock down. Oyegoke taking his time to come off. He's not moving particularly well, is he? And he's milking it a little bit, and the fans are not too happy. But I'm sure the referee will add on a little bit extra time to make up for it.
On comes Forrester. He's been in and out of the team. Right back. Oyegoke off. He's putting a shift, to be fair to him. Oyegoke down that far side. He's not had the same level of support as Penrice has on this Hearts left side. There's 4 minutes have been added, and that's because of the subs. It was to be 3, it's now 4. We're into the first of them. McGrath flicks on. Aberdeen's winless run is going to go into what's effectively a quarter of a season. 11 games 31 points from the first 33. As it stands, it's going to be 4 from the next 33, and Palaversa gave it away at the edge of his own box. He's able to clear the second time of asking. There's McCart, rolls it low out to Penrice on the left-hand side. Hearts trying to win it late on here. It's Danda. Back to Jamie McCart. They've won their last 2 games 1-0. They make it 3 on the spin. Well, not with a ball like that. It's Palaversa, and then Duke goes down. McCart, strong defending. McCart comes forward. The Aberdeen supporters didn't like the challenge. Hearts play on. They don't care about the protests. It's Danda on the left-hand side. Little ball in behind, looking for Kabangu, but Doohan will see it behind for the goal kick. It stays Aberdeen 0, Hearts 0.
Yeah, again, you know, the final pass, the final ball, it's not accurate enough. The weight is not good enough. You know, Kabangu making a decent run in behind, but you know, the pass doesn't match the run, and you know, it's looking as though it's just going to peter out, you know, to 0-0, which is hugely disappointing. And as you said, Liam, it's been a disappointing afternoon. Don't think there's been much quality and show throughout the game, you know, for 2 of our top teams as well, our supposed top teams. Then I think there's a lot of improvement required.
Still time though. We're almost halfway through the 4 minutes. Hearts come forward again. Kabangu, Polvara with the challenge, and out for a Hearts throw-in, which is pretty much the exact same bit of the pitch where Dundee United took a long throw-in and scored a late winner from. Danda takes it short though to Penrice, gets the cross in with the left foot. Oh, it's a clumsy looking challenge by Nielsen. Hearts have a penalty. Sivert Nielsen gives it away. And Hearts have a penalty kick in second half stoppage time at Pittodrie. The challenge on Vargas.
It's just rash again. It's unthoughtful. You know, you've got to understand. It's kind of dragged them to the ground as well. Vargas is going to be struggling, you know, to take that ball in, and Nielsen goes in and catches him, takes him down, and he knows himself that he's given away the penalty. It's for a man with that experience, surely he just stands his ground, you know, allows Vargas, if he's going to get in front of him, gives himself a yard to make sure that if there's a touch either side of him, that he's going to be able to cover. He doesn't. He goes, you know, just diving into the challenge, diving in to make contact inside the ball.
Yeah.
Penalty.
George Grant is going to take it against Ross Doohan. Aberdeen staring directly down the barrel at a 6th successive defeat here, and Hearts potentially a 3rd successive 1-0 victory. George Grant will wait a little bit more because Duke, I think it is gone into an area of the pitch he shouldn't be in. But this is drama here. Hearts lost late in October at Pittodrie. George Grant will take the penalty. Right footed off the post after Doohan got a touch, and Aberdeen clear. And the fans celebrate as if they've scored up the other end. I think Doohan got a touch on that. As Aberdeen come forward, it's blocked, and Cammy Devlin picks up, and it's knocked out to Alan Forrest, who gets it down the line. Vargas will give chase. We've played almost all 4 minutes. There will be more added on because of the penalty. McGarry's in a fankle down by the corner flag. He eventually gets it out for a throw-in. It stays Aberdeen 0, Hearts 0.
It's a save. You know, I don't think there's any doubt that Doohan gets his hand to it. And
That's it, it's all over. And the Aberdeen players all go to Ross Doohan. And that is it could potentially be a massive point for Aberdeen. Could potentially be a massive point in the respect that they were about to lose a 6th successive game, and despite what was, I think, another poor performance from the home team, the Aberdeen supporters will go home relatively happy, given the fact that Doohan has kept out that George Grant penalty. McCart hit the post earlier on. There were chances for both teams, not too many of them though, unfortunately for the watching public here. Aberdeen's winless run extends to 11 games. Hearts pick up a point away from home, but it could have been so much better for them. It finishes here at Pittodrie as we hand to the closing stage of the game at Ibrox with Billy Dodds and Thomas Duncan. It finished Aberdeen 0, Hearts 0.